Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So today we're going to talk about how to accept criticism by avoiding negative self-reactions. But before we begin, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. Ooh, I keep on getting faster and faster every single time. You can tell that I love this. You can tell my motivation, right? You can tell that this is my intrinsic motivation because it comes from inside. That motivation that just wants to help you so that way you can move forward. If you have a topic, a comment, if you have a suggestion, then put it in the comment section and I'll be happy to do so. If you want to connect with me on other social media outlets, you're more than happy to. You can connect with me on Facebook by searching for me, Carlos Flores Jr. You will see this face now in my profile pic. You can connect with me on Instagram by typing at Back on Basics. You can connect with me on X by typing at Back on Basics as well. You can now connect with me on WhatsApp. It's a great place where people can do this for free, just like Facebook. I mean, they're more Meta. So that way you can connect with me on WhatsApp at Back on Basics 9985. So you have different places, right, that you can connect with me. You have the comment section. You have the notification button. You have the like button. Again, this video is about accepting criticism by not having negative self-reactions. Accepting criticism by not having negative self-reactions. And it's important because criticism is given to us whether we want it or not. And sometimes when you're in a job also, or when you're in school, right, you get graded as little as kindergarten or TK or preschool, right? You get stickers if you do a good job. So you can tell who did a good job and who didn't do a good job. Apparently. Right? But again, you have to understand this, right? Those decisions are based on either one or a small group of people. So that way you have to take that with a grain of salt as well. Because there may be merit to it. I'm not saying that, just because you didn't get a sticker, you still did good. It just means that there might be some grading rubrics that they can check little boxes and make sure that you get it, and there's a cutoff that they don't. I mean, that's what I would do. I mean, that's what evidence-based education is actually doing now. I mean, I teach a program at my district called Wilson where I have to follow their fidelity, which means I have to do every step the same way each time in order for the probability or the percentage of my students to succeed consistently. And I get it because I've dealt with evidence-based research. I've dealt with evidence-based programs. I've dealt with evidence-based education teaching at University of Phoenix. It's the same thing. So, I mean, I'd rather, if I was a kindergarten and if I had the mental capacity to process all of this like this, I'd rather know how I got my sticker instead of just saying, you have a great job. And the thing is, nowadays teachers are getting taught to say, so-and-so, you had a great day, you cleaned up, you helped this fellow student, you did this, you have earned a sticker. Again, right? Specific, great feedback. The student, even though he or she may not process everything, he or she will know that they have earned a sticker. And then, of course, as a teacher, you would follow it up with maybe a little note. Maybe you create those little notes with check boxes. Help the student, cleaned up, was on the rug on time. And so it's one of those things where, again, we get graded for everything. I mean, even these videos get thumbs up or thumbs down, right? I do get thumbs down. I've gotten a lot of thumbs down in some of these videos, and I get it, right? What I appreciate, and this is the reason why I always ask you to put things in the comment section, is that if I get a thumbs down, I want to know why. I just don't want to, oh yeah, your thing sucks. But I want to know why, so that way I can course correct, right? That's the difference between somebody that just wants to throw stuff out at you and it doesn't matter how it comes out, to somebody that wants to support you, who wants to make a difference in the way that these videos are made. And again, I like it. I like it. I mean, there should be a rubric whenever somebody gives you criticism. There should be kind of like something that tells you, okay, this is the good, this is the bad, this is the ugly. And so, we talked about that before. So, accepting criticism has to be done because you are getting to know yourself. Remember that first knowing yourself. You have to know yourself, because if you know yourself, you know your positives and you know your negatives. And guess what? There's not going to be much surprised. You're not gonna react in a positive way, in a negative way, in a neutral way. You're not going to react angry. You're not going to react in different ways, because you kind of have a sense of what you have that's going positive, what's going neutral, what's going bad, and what's going ugly, right? And we do have all of those categories. And I actually put the neutral one in there because that's the here and now, right? And so accepting criticism means that you're not going to lash back. And that's something that I'm truly working on, because the thing is, you make criticism personal. I make criticism personal. I'm going to be honest with you. I make criticism personal. And so I tend to lash out. And so I'm working on it. Just like you are, here I am. I'm working on that. And I'm getting better at it. And I'm realizing that it's not personal, right? It's not something that this person said, I'm going to tell you this so I can bring you down to a little tiny person. Or I'm going to lower your self-esteem. Sometimes the delivery is not the best, and I get it. And so, not in the moment that you're receiving criticism, but a little bit after, when everything just doesn't go back to normal, but just kind of calms down, you can say, hey, I would appreciate if you watch the language that you're delivering, because that language makes me feel, and you fill in the blank. Again, right? You have to, right? Just like they're giving you feedback or criticism, you should be able to do that back, so that way they can course correct as well. Are they going to be able to accept it? I don't know. They may or may not, but that's okay. At least you offered some feedback. And so, again, right? A lot of the times we take it personally. I've taken it personally sometimes. And I'm to the point where, I either want to walk out or I get frustrated. But I remember everything that I practice, right? Mind-body balance, right? When I go into in a situation like that, I usually go, try to balance myself, try to be in the neutral zone, so that way I'm in the here and now, and I'm not bringing back the past, because if I bring that past, it'll intensify my reaction a lot. So, the topic today is accepting criticism, right? By not letting people, don't let people get to you. Don't. It's hard when people are giving you criticism, but they don't know how to deliver it, right? And unfortunately, not everybody does. There are some people that do that. They're really good at it. You have to learn from them, because those are the people that take away the beliefs, take away the emotions and everything, and just deliver it as a matter of fact. Some lawyers do that. Some preachers, some pastors, some monks, they do that. Some the priest at the Catholic Church, they do that. They actually deliver it when they're talking to you during confession. That has to be like this. That has to be neutral. That has to be, because any inkling that somebody thinks that this person who's listening to my mistakes, who's listening to my sins, it sounds like they're talking down to me instead of with me or at me, right? Then you do feel bad. And I get it. But you also have to get to know yourself, because you should know the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that way you don't get emotionally charged. Remember, it takes two people. One to give you feedback or criticism, and one to respond to you or not respond to you and say thank you. I will take that into consideration. And that's all you have to say. It doesn't have to be like, ah, or it doesn't have to be like this and slouch over, right? Right, Mochi? It doesn't have to be, that's my cat. It doesn't have to be that way. So accept criticism without having to lash out. Accept it, because it's important to do that. There is no way that you're going to go through life without somebody giving you advice. And there's a difference between advice and criticism. There's a difference between advice and feedback. There's a difference between a compliment and feedback. You have to learn to take all of them. If you want to join me in the journey of learning how to do that, join me. You can connect with me on any of the social media outlets that I outlined. On Facebook, search for me, Carlos Flores Jr. This face, right, in the profile. On Instagram, you can type in @BackOnBasics. On X, you can type in @BackOnBasics. On WhatsApp, you can type in @BackOnBasics9985. Again, I'm trying to make myself available for questions, personal questions, or if you need to send me a private message because you have something that you want to just run by me and you want me to give you my take on it. Again, it's up to you to decide. It's kind of like criticism and feedback. It's up to you to decide whether you want to accept it or not. But try not to express anger or express negativity back, because that person, whether they have good intentions or not so good intentions, that person is actually giving you something to adapt. That person is trying to be part of your support system, and they may not be part of your support system, but at this point they are. Honorary, but you don't have to accept them. So it's feedback can be amazing because it can course correct. I've gotten feedback, I've gotten criticism that actually shows me that I haven't been focusing on something specific. I haven't been focusing on something that I should have been. And that's why I'm going at the speed that I'm going to. Remember, life is not a race, it's a marathon. But you don't have to slow all the way down, because you're not looking all around for clues. You're not in the here and now, in the present moment, trying to make sure that you're just moving forward, trying to make sure that you're accepting and moving aside the past, that you're accepting and moving aside the criticism, unless you accept it and then you have to process it and then you're going to do something about it. Again, different ways of doing so. So, bottom line, you will have criticism, you will have feedback from people that want to give it to you, from people that have to give it to you, and from people that will give it to you even though you don't want them to, or they don't have to. You'll get it everywhere. It happens everywhere. Some people are trying to be nice. Some people are trying to be mean. Some people are trying to be neutral and help you out. So take it with a grain of salt. Remember, look at it in the here and now and see if that's something that you need to focus on. And of course, good feedback, bad feedback, positive feedback, negative feedback, you always say thank you, because they're giving you something. It doesn't matter if it's negative. They're giving you something. You say thank you. I will see how that fits into my life. That's it. So, feedback. I mean, some of the comments that have been going from the beginning of this YouTube channel, I mean, some of them has been kind of scathing, but that's okay though. That's okay, because you know what? Some people just don't know how to deliver it either. And so I take it with a grain of salt and I adapt, because any feedback, good, bad, or ugly, is the feedback that I want, because I want to course correct. I want to get to my goals and dreams, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get to where I want to get to. I want to be at my best. So I appreciate when you put comments in the comment section, when you connect with me on social media, other social media outlets, when you give me likes, when you give me don't likes, but provide feedback. I just wanna course correct. That's all I want. I don't wanna I just want to course correct. I want to be able to give you the best possible topics and best possible micro topics or micro bites that can help you every day, like this one, right? I know you're going to have feedback all the time, so make sure that you know yourself. That's the foundation. That's the first rung. You know yourself. Once you know the good, the bad, and the ugly about you, there may still some things that shock you or surprise you, but they're not going to be that many. And you'll say, thank you. I'm glad that you see it, because I see it as well. And you can reciprocate. You see how I said that? That validates the other person, and the other person feels good about it. Because some people are tentative about giving you feedback because they're afraid of how you're going to react, or they're afraid that you're not going to take it, or they're afraid that they seem negative but they're not. Accept feedback. Avoid lashing out to the people. I mean, they're all giving you feedback anyways, good, bad, or ugly. It's still feedback. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 99.85. Hit the notification button. I have any new videos that come on board. If you have any comments, put them in the comment section, right? Like this video. And then, again, right? Feedback. Feedback, criticism, compliment. It's like, remember, life is like a spectrum. You go from the good, right, to the bad, and sometimes you have to go to the ugly. Stay neutral, friends. Stay in the here and now. So that way you don't have any attachments. So that way you can let go of things. You can accept things and move forward, right? Because that's your I don't want to say that's your job. That's your goal, to move forward and attain your goals and dreams. So, until next time, Carlos Flores.